Hello, it's me, your guidance counselor. Just kidding, I thought that would be funny because in my last video I did that. The point of this video, or what I hope this video comes out to be, is a kind of revisitation of that planner journal for 2021 lineup video that I have. That, you know, is my most popular video, but I posted it about 6 months ago in December of 2020, and a lot of things have changed in that time. So as you can see, I've moved, I got a dog, I got through the rest of my first year of grad school. I have just gone through a lot of changes. I've had some pretty hard times and some pretty good times as well. But something that I've learned is that as fun as having a planner journal system is, I can't stick to one very well, especially when situations are changing, when my workload is changing, when my focus of my workload is changing. Yeah, I just kind of wanted to revisit everything in that video and give you guys an update of some sort on what I use as my planner or how I use my planner system these days. It's changed, but also it's the same. Something that I found that is really comforting for me recently is that I really try to take the pressure off of myself to have a concrete system. And I know that's ironic because as I'm filming this video, my 2021 planner setup video has like over 4,000 views, and everyone probably thinks that I have this concrete system that I use day in and day out, but in reality I pretty much only used that setup for maybe 1 or 2 months, and then it changed. I got a bullet journal. I started doing other kinds of journaling. So I like to call my new journaling process adaptive journaling, which sounds fancy, but it just means that I don't have a super concrete system. I just have journals and places to write down things. And generally there's some sort of structure to it, but what I use every single day depends on my need for that day. So if I need a planner that week and I need to see everything that I'm gonna do that week, then I have a planner. But some days I just have a lot of shit on my plate for one day, so I have an entire page in a random journal dedicated to my giant to-do that day. For me, I don't know why it was stressful to disconnect myself from a hardcore planner system. It definitely gave me a little bit of anxiety to walk away from my planner sometimes, but at the same time the relief I would get from finding whatever I needed that day from my planners kind of overcame the stress and anxiety of detaching myself from my structure of planners. I'm just gonna show you guys what I use and what I might use all of my journals for. Most of my everyday carry, I say like I leave the house, most of my everyday carry is right here, so it's within reach. Pretty much every single day I'll reach for at least 3 of these things, so it changes every single day, but they're there, they're easy, within reach, and they have a lot of functions now. And so let's get into those functions. Yeah.
So sorry for the unannounced and random interlude, but I found this video of one of my very old bullet journals where I actually did this sort of adaptive journaling concept where I do have these weekly layouts, but I also have pages that are dedicated to a day. And that's kind of the concept of what I'm doing right now in terms of journaling with my bullet journal / planner system. Is I'll have like a weekly planner, but sometimes I just completely ignore it and I focus on single days just so that I'm making sure I get everything done and I'm not getting overwhelmed by looking at the entire week. So the first journal I will start out with is my therapy journal. It's actually a repurposed bullet journal that I used to have about a year ago, and I didn't use it for a while, so I found it and I forgot how much I really like these softcover moleskin journals, and I started using it for my therapy journal where I write down all of my reflections and whatnot from therapy and other mental health crises. This is my sticker book, which you guys have seen me use frequently on my Journal With Me videos. It is my go-to, my absolute love of my life. Can't live without it, can't journal without it. Highly recommend, especially the Kitten Bun Supply Company ones. This is a Traveler's Notebook binder that holds Traveler's Notebook inserts, including my old reading journal, which I filled out all the way, believe it or not. It also contains my old life journal, which was essentially like the very baby beginnings of my bullet journal. It contains the only filled out doodle-a-day calendar I've ever done, as well as some random pages of reflections and whatnot. And lastly, my commonplace journal, which has not been very commonplace because I don't really use it. This Daruma charm comes from Risket Design. It's super cute and I feel like it perfectly goes with my traveler's notebook. And my traveler's notebook honestly hasn't changed that much. Layout is the same with my reading log and reading journal. I think the only thing that's really changed is that I added a pen loop to the back of my craft folder, so now I always have a pen with me wherever I go when I have my reading journal. And of course my bullet journal, which is a new addition. This is an Archer and Olive Traveler's Notebook. I haven't been very good at keeping up with this. It's mostly just for the fun of setting up bullet journal spreads, but it has been really nice to have things like mood trackers and habit trackers to just reflect on the day. Here are some of my favorite completed spreads that I've done so far in my bullet journal. Just wanted to share these with you guys. As well as my bullet journal spreads for June. I really do like the Archer and Olive notebook, by the way, in case you were wondering. I just have not been very good at keeping up with my bullet journal, hence the lack of use. Now lately my daily driver has been this Cree notebook in a, what is it called? Yamamoto paper. I think it's called a Robiki cover. Essentially I got this notebook because I liked the size and I wanted to try it out. And I just started putting random planner spreads and other things to suit my day. So, as I was talking about earlier, lately I've been enjoying having just a piece of paper that I've pasted in and writing down to-dos, not designated for specific days, but just to get done within some time. And last but not least, my old planner, which I thought I'd flip through even though I don't really reach for it anymore. I did use it last week, but it wasn't the greatest. There's a flip through of all of my spreads so far this year up on my channel, which I will link up in the cards.
As you can see, my planner system is definitely very adaptive and it honestly changes week to week. And I find that that's what works best for me. Honestly, always reevaluate if your planner system is working for you, because if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work at all. And then what's the point of a planar system? Right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this little update. I think it's kind of funny that I filmed that video and it's done so well and everything pretty much has changed since then. Yeah, just remember that nothing is set in stone. You can always change your planar and it's not a big deal. You can always go back to another planar if you want to. Continuity and everything is fun, but it's not worth the stress if your planar doesn't work for you. So keep that in mind going forward. Is my advice, I guess. I don't know. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope that this satiated your curiosity once again, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I'll see you next time. Bye!